planning on making a toilet paper rack. My bathroom is small and I don't have a lot of room for storing toilet paper. So I've got some toilet paper right here. I was on Pinterest and I saw something really cool that I thought would be a really cool idea for storing toilet paper. And the way that it works is it looks like a cloud, and you kind of put it on this cloud. Imagine this table is a wall and you're stacking the toilet paper on this rack like so, which lets it naturally stack upwards, and you kind of get this cool design of stacked toilet paper. And I'm going to go ahead and try and make that. So something like this. So I want to make a design that kind of has this cloud shape, so that way I can stack as many toilet paper rolls as I want on the wall and make it look really cool. And what I bought is this big bad boy. So it's a 6-inch pipe that I bought at a metal market. Normally you have to buy something like this that's 20 feet long, and that's way more than I need. They just happen to have a 4-foot one, which works perfectly for me. I probably don't need this much because I'm only going to cut sections, you know, about this big. And I only need like what, maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 half sections. Because I don't want to make a full tube, because if I do, then I can't like take out the toilet paper. So what my next step is going to be is to cut these strips down and stack them all nicely and kind of figure out the pattern that I want. And then once I do that, I'll weld it all together. I also have this one scrap, a little shy of 3 feet, piece of mild steel that I'm going to use to weld, and this will be kind of my back support. That's going to have slots cut in it, so I can mount screws into a wall and just kind of slip this on there and have my toilet paper rack. Now it's time to start cutting. Because this is a 6-inch diameter pipe, this saw can't cut it all the way through with one cut. I might have to do like 2 or 3 cuts to get this pipe. I'm gonna cut it a little bit bigger, so you know, I have room to grind away any like, you know, misalignments, because you know it's not gonna be exact cut. Nothing like some good old dangerous cutting to get the day going. Just a little bit off, but that'll work. Now to cut this pipe into small sections. 1, 2, 3. That worked pretty good. Now that everything is cut, time to get rid of the super sharp edges. Gonna use this lovely grinder, the nice 80 grit flap disc. So the next step is for me to use this grinder here to get rid of the uneven cuts that I made when I did this. And also it'll help me square everything up. So I've been fiddling around with kind of design, and this is what I'm going for right here. So I had to cut a few pieces smaller, left a few long just to kind of give it some variety here. But that's kind of what I want it to look like. It's a little bit abstract. And that's kind of what I'm going for. I'm really liking the color. It is just raw steel. I think I will leave it. All right, so now that I have my rough shape down, I'm gonna do a little bit of tweaking here, make sure everything is perfect. And then I'm actually just gonna go ahead and draw it on this tabletop. That way when I bring the welder and I start tacking it together, I can kind of keep that shape. I have a few of these nice 90-degree magnets that I'm going to use to go ahead and lock everything in place. I want the toilet paper to sit exactly at a 90-degree angle, because if it starts leaning, once you stack more and more toilet paper on top, there's a chance of it toppling over. So I want it to be as square as possible. So here's the welder I'm using. It's really cheap. I got it at Harbor Freight, Chicago Electric. But you know what? It's actually fairly reliable. I've had really good luck with this welder. It's lasted me a really long time. And for thin stuff like 1/8 inch metal, it's great. So now that I have this stuff all lined up, I'm gonna go ahead and just tack them in place. So I just wanna get this rough shape tacked in. And once it's tacked in, I will take it to the welding table and weld everything up.
I just can't let you go. Lord knows that I've tried to. You said I was the only one. No one likes being lied to. You made this mess and left me with the pieces. Now I wanna burn all the bridges between us.
Now that I've got this guy marked up, I will cut it. Alright, so I went ahead and I rounded over these nice edges, and I'm gonna go ahead and tack this guy in place as well.
We may have some history, but we don't have to repeat it. You made this mess and left me with the pieces. Now I'm gonna burn all the bridges between us.
So I decided to put a level on it and see what it would look like with toilet paper in it, upright. So far, I think it's gonna work. It looks pretty cool. Now, it looks like a cloud. Wow. All right, now that I'm here at the welding table, before I weld anything, what I'm gonna do is remove all the oxidation where I'm gonna be welding. First thing I'm probably gonna weld are these corners in here. Make sure it's nice and tight. That way when I start welding, it has less likeliness to tweak. Here are the welds. I'm not the best welder, but I think these came out pretty good. Now I just have to clean off all the slag to make them look nicer. And then I'll decide whether or not I'm gonna keep them there or if I should just grind them off and make it all nice and smooth. I am going to go ahead and leave it this color. I like that natural steel look. So I did grind the insides of these down. The welds didn't look too bad. I just think that'll be better when it's nice and smooth. And then I went ahead and welded the inside here. Like I said, I'm not the best welder, but I can get it okay. And for me, that's good enough right there. And it's mounted. Yeah, take a look at that. I think it turned out really good. Looks just like a cloud. So, so essentially it's like a, and like so, they just so happen. So, piece of, slip this on there, and